Hello everybody, this is Calxiyn here. Remember that you guys should subscribe to the channel, become a resident of our Discord server, and become a patron over on Patreon. So Hunter, today we are talking about some writing tricks, in a way. And so maybe you can also, you know, chime in on this since, you know, I think a little like some technical writing stuff as well.
Thank you for limiting my expertise in this area.
I'm sorry. And, I didn't know how to describe you. I was just saying that you're on the more technical side of writing a lot of the time. I feel like technique.
Oh.
Like techne. Like that. I like that.
It makes it because technical writing makes me sound like I write manuals for printers.
Like I mean that like. Well, I literally just write things and don't think about it a lot. You, like, think about writing conventions and stuff like that, you know? You think about it. You think about it.
Despite the fact that you are the originator of the term.
The writing's perspective. Okay, so that's actually what we're going to talk about today. So, basically, why did they kill Sienna? And what exactly, like, made her killable, I guess. Like, what was the intention of this scene? That's basically what I want to go over. So if you guys watched another video, I basically talked about a very, very similar thing, but with a Kingdom Hearts character. And so, let me just kind of break that down. No spoilers for Kingdom Hearts, I promise. I'm just gonna, like, vaguely describe. So there was this girl that seemed to hold this position in power in, one of the Kingdom Hearts games. Like, we thought that she was gonna be an important character, and she was, like, fucking adorable, and so everybody fell in love with her, and the creator, of Kingdom Hearts was like, yes, we made her cute on purpose. And if anybody ever says, yes, we made her cute on purpose, run, okay? Y'all run, alright? Because that means something very wrong is gonna happen. And so, those were kind of the first two things, right? She was cute, and we thought that she was important. And so, like, she had this sort of innocent personality, and everybody was immediately drawn to her, like, you know, protect my little, like, cupcake over here, you know what I mean? And then, she was looking for the player before, unfortunately, something came out of the shadows and stabbed her in the stomach, and then she died.
Did I see this?
No.
Okay.
This is the, Kingdom Hearts mobile game. So it's not really a spoiler for you, don't worry about it. So, I analyzed basically what exactly Nomura was trying to do in that situation. This video is gonna be very similar to that. So let's just look at Sienna for a minute. This is also implying that she is dead. We are gonna do a video later on whether she's actually dead or not.
I mean, because who hasn't survived a katana to the chest? I mean...
Stomach. Listen, okay?
You know, especially a stomach, I thought it was the chest. That's even easier to survive.
I mean, okay. I don't want to get into this because it's going to be in our other video. But did you ever watch the game theory on how Cloud from Final Fantasy actually killed Aerith? And that she was still alive at the time of her... Okay. So, it just... For you guys that have watched it, keep it in mind. I'm gonna, like, have Hunter at least get a rundown of that video later so I can explain why I think Sienna's still alive. But anyways, so I'm basically gonna try to explain to you guys that are very salty about this why they did things this way. Implying, again, that she actually is dead. So, to start with, like, I think there were a couple things they wanted to establish. Like, one, nobody is safe, no matter how cool looking or hot they are. Hunter said this in the analysis video, but they were basically like, budget! Like, we used our budget on this and we don't care! Like, we're just throwing money down the drain, you know what I mean? I think you said something.
No, I was talking about that, like, it was like, because I was saying, like, oh, like, the fight scene on the thing could be better, and you're like, well, they had a budget. I'm like, well, then fucking, they threw out this cool character design later, so they were throwing money to the wind!
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to convey with this, let's say.
Like, we've got so much money.
I know, and so, like, they're kind of showing you that, like, no matter how cool looking someone is and how much work seems to be put into their design, like, no one is fucking safe, okay? And, like, we should have all been a little worried since we didn't see Sienna in the opening, Like, we saw her in the trailer for the the volume, but we didn't see her past that, you know what I'm saying? And so we should have all been a little worried, I'm just saying. And so they wanted to establish first, like, no character is safe right now. That's one thing. The second thing is that they wanted to really make Adam more of a dick. Like, if that's even possible. Like, because, like, you know, Volume 3, those wounds have healed for most of us, I think. Unless you watched it recently.
Except Yang. Ba, 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 ba.
But Hunter and I, like, watched Volume 3 basically 2 years ago. Before we started doing these videos. So, for us, the wound, let's say, it's not as fresh. You know what I mean? And so, this is basically reminding the audience, hey, you still have a reason to hate Adam, you know what I mean? Especially just because...
People found a new reason to hate Adam.
Yeah, exactly. Another reason. Like, an additional reason, you know what I mean? And so, there's also kind of that aspect to it, too, is that an easy way to make you hate a character more is to have them kill somebody else that you like, and that's the other thing. Like, I want to reiterate this. The only reason they made her look cool and look hot and seem important and, like, seeming to do a good thing before her death, which was like, Adam, you crossed the line, I already punished you before, and you were like, yeah, Sienna, you go, you tell him, like, you punished his ass, you know what I mean? And then she's dead, right? So you're seeing a character that was trying to punish the person that we already all hated because of Yang, and now we hate him even more. Like, it's definitely furthering Adam as, like, the main villain of this arc, so to speak.
I think I just found a glitch.
Why?
So I know how to get.
Yeah, it's not a glitch. You're supposed to be able to do that. But you understand what I'm saying, Hunter? Like, when you think about it that way, it's very, like, clear what exactly they were trying to do. They were basically, you know, tricking us into falling in love with the character so they could then kill them and sort of make Adam more of a villain. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when Cinder killed Amber, it was one thing, you know? But when Cinder killed Pyrrha, everybody lost their shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so this is kind of almost the opposite, is that, like, Adam first hurt a character that we all gotten close to, and then, you know, now they killed a character that we actually all kind of really liked even before we saw any of them.
It took us 5 seconds to really like her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so, like, it barely took us any time to feel this connection with her, and that is entirely intentional. Like, that's basically, like, what you're supposed to do, you know, to a certain extent. If you really want to kind of play with people's hearts, I suppose you could phrase it like that. And so, you know, they obviously wanted us to all hurt and be in pain and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what I'm talking about when I say, like, it's a writer's trick, because not only, like, RWBY isn't the only one that does this, and I actually think that Amber, like, was a test run for this situation, because Amber, like, people liked her, but she didn't look that cool, and so nobody really gave a shit.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, because we didn't really know much about the Maidens. We know a lot about the White Fang. There's been a lot of speculation over, like, the idea of a leader of the White Fang above Adam. We've been
getting connected to this idea basically
for a very long time.
Yeah, since last volume, right? Because Blake was talking about,
or no,
like, Sienna.
No, they said, Hazel, you're gonna go see Sienna come.
Yeah, in volume 4, I mean, last volume,
in volume 4. That was at the first episode, too.
Yeah.
So we've been waiting for a while for this character.
And then they crushed us, Hunter.
And then they took our hope in their hands.
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean by, like, an evil writer's trick. It's the same thing that Nomura did to us an extent, but Nomura kind of did it for a different reason, and so let me get to that. Basically, there's a character in the game that is now well established from other games, and that's the person that killed this new character that we all, like, got connected to real fast. So basically, the intention was was to kind of establish that old character in this new world, I guess you could say, this new situation. And so everybody, like, hates his inclusion now. But if he was killed by, like, some random other character just to replace them, it wouldn't have the same effect. Because we know this character from, like, 7 other games. You know, like, not all of them, just a couple of them. And so when you kind of think about it in that way, you kind of see what they were trying to do, right? Like, if Sienna was killed by some rando, it wouldn't mean anything, but we've established Adam very well. Like, they did a good job of showing Adam since the beginning of RWBY. They did it in the Black trailer, we saw him again interacting with Cinder, and then we saw him one more time, with Sienna here, you could say. And so they've spent a lot of time establishing Adam, so he could basically do this. Like, that was basically the intention, you know what I'm saying? Are you okay, Hunter?
Yes.
You're just, you're very, stoic, let's say. You know,
I guess it's just because...
You should probably also fix your points, because that's an awful, awful setup. And
really? I don't...
It's pretty bad, because you don't have as many ultimates.
I mean, yeah, but what if I'm focused more on team attack?
Yeah, but all these people are gonna leave you as soon as the first station goes away.
Well, then how do I fix it?
I'll do it.
Anyway,
here,
so
you talk about what I've been saying, basically.
Go ahead. So what I was expecting, well, how I feel about this, I suppose, as I think writing.
Do you know that you feel tricked? You know what I mean?
I think that's what I was gonna get into. That the idea of writing is essentially the idea of setting up or just dealing with expectations, whether they're comfortable expectations, like, ooh, I know this is going to have a happy ending, it's going to make me feel warm inside, or the idea of chaos, that I don't know what the fuck is going to happen in this. I think a lot of the good comes with playing expectations. Everything that is funny involves with fucking with expectations. Everything that is shocking, everything that is dramatic, it all has to do with playing with people's expectations.
And we expected, like...
And we expected this person to be big. And I think the fact that they killed her off so quickly has sort of two purposes. I mean, one, to show that Adam is terrible, just the worst. To vilify him even more than he already has. Which at this point is a little unnecessary. But fuck, like, they're really... Yeah, like,
they're
no,
working
they're doing
on it, you know what I mean?
So I should say there's three versions. There's that. There's the idea of no one's safe, like, because I feel like there's distance, especially with the last season where it's like, okay, is Crow gonna die? No, Crow's not gonna die. Like, they played with a lot of, like, I feel like after Volume 3, after 3 major characters died, people were like, well, now they're just gonna start killing people willy-nilly, and then they had someone who is not a main character, like, was a serious main character, almost die. So I think we were sort of put at a bit of, like, they're
definitely, like, it's like a yo-yo. Like, they're pulling us up and down. Like, because, like, last, we thought, oh, they'll just kill everybody off willy-nilly now. And then, like, Crow was the only person that was seriously hurt. And so we were actually, like, super scared about it. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't, like, willy-nilly like we thought it was. And now it's going sort of back to that.
No, they're going back to I think what I was going to get to is that they're going back to, I think, an understanding.
Yeah.
That, yes... That okay, so it's sort of like needy, like there is danger here, there is danger everywhere. We're reminding you there is danger. We're not doing this willy-nilly.
Yeah, we're not doing it for no purpose, right?
Because we're not doing it for no purpose because I think 3, the death of Sienna Khan, is really going to drive the plot.
Yes, that's the other thing that I was kind of trying to, like, explain to people the other day, is that, remember, we talked about this in our analysis, but this is why Ilya said that their plan wasn't gonna work, because while they're trying to just, like, while they're trying to, like, basically arrest Corsic and Finnick, it doesn't fucking matter anymore, because Adam's in charge anyway, and so they can't be like, oh, they're going against the leader of the White Fang, like, bitch, Adam is a leader, like, there's a new leader in town, you know what I mean? And so, like, this is basically gonna change all of Blake's plot, and it also shows, I think, that not only how well liked Adam is, but beyond, like, I guess, with people, but also when you, like, really think about what he was doing, like, it was an ambush, right? And so I think that we should be wary of characters that seem like they're just there for background. You know what I mean? Like, the guards, I didn't think of, like, they basically looked like statues. I didn't think anything of them. At first, and then they totally just like, hey bitch, remember those people that were standing with Sienna? Guess what? They're not just there to look pretty or to give atmosphere to the room, like they're actually doing something. They're not like background characters. It's like, I know this is a weird example, but like there are some theater shows where they'll have, You know
You're correct. This is a weird example.
You know the ninja people, like the people that are dressed in black and they move the sets and stuff, like in a play. I call them the ninjas.
Roadies?
Not roadies, but they're like stagehands, right?
Stagehands?
They're backstage and they're all dressed in black, so you're not supposed to like notice them, or you're supposed to pretend they're not there because like really, you know, it breaks the illusion. Like some shows will have those characters be actually important. And so have sort of those characters that see or those stage people dressed in black, and then have them like basically kill kill someone, or just be like, oh, you know, you thought I was in the background, well, you thought wrong because I am right here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like a disguise. Like, being a background character, especially in this show, is basically a disguise because nobody thinks that you're important. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, like, if you're not at the forefront with all of the other characters, because we've kind of have an understanding that the budget is so small, and that, or at least before, and that background characters will never really become anything more than background characters, we have kind of set up that expectation, you know what I mean? Like, there hasn't been a character that's been in the background that we've, then again, like, we've seen. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it would have been cool if they showed all of the other teams in the Vital Festival to be kind of sitting behind Team RWBY, but no, all of those people were just random, like, generated background characters, right? But now what they're doing is saying, even the people that look unsuspecting, even the people that you think are just there to kind of build atmosphere and show Sienna's power in this case, because obviously she's surrounded by guards, like, they're not only there for that, they actually have a much deeper purpose. They're actually going to be doing stuff. They're not just going to be like sitting around looking pretty to add to the background because we're done from the times of shadow people. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that that's pretty, I guess, important to kind of keep in mind, that it's not just about Adam. It's also kind of establishing that who you think are unimportant background characters are not just unimportant background characters. Like, what do you think about that?
Anybody thought that Sienna Khan was unimportant.
No, like, I mean the characters that killed her. Like, remember all of those people
Adam
that
killed her.
No, but like those people that were by her guard.
Sure,
I'm saying.
I don't think that was the most important.
No, I don't think it's the most important, but I'm not gonna pretend that it doesn't exist. I'm not talking about Sienna being a background character. I'm talking about her guards, right? Because you didn't even really give a shit about them, did you?
No, well, first off, they threatened Adam, and then they threatened her, and then don't act.
What do you mean?
The guards behind Sienna Khan.
What did they do?
You don't even remember? They threatened Blake when she was like, not Blake, Adam, when Sienna Khan was like dressing him down, and then when she finally said executed.
Well, that was Hazel, not Adam.
Well, yes.
Is that they saw that there was a human in here and they were like, oh shit, like that's not good, you know what I mean?
The point is.
And so.
Well, they were obviously playing along.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that at first, like, they just kind of looked like they were there, but then they weren't anymore, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about Sienna, I mean her.
Yes,
the guard people.
I was talking about them too.
Because like, I think usually we look at, like, those characters, like, especially, like, when we went into Mistral, right, all those people were 2D.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They were just people in the village, and they didn't really seem like they were gonna matter again. And so now we kind of know that, like, I guess we know, like, if it's 3D animated, watch out. You know what I mean?
Right now?
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, maybe because you're not paying attention.
Or
like,
you're just talking about, I don't fucking know.
I'm
what
saying that before we didn't really pay any mind to the characters in the background.
What is even the topic of this discussion?
It's that, like, that's kind of, like, why they were kind of building this scene the way that they did, I'm saying. That it had more of a purpose than just to develop Adam as a character. They're kind of showing us not to just kind of think like, of these characters as just random, like, background characters.
Alright, I don't know about that so much as it's about setting up the plot and all
yeah,
this
but
stuff
this
that's
is
going
like
on.
a last, like,
that's
final
what I said.
thing, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
what I, okay, sure.
Because
anyways.
I also said that as well, but I'm saying that.
No, I said that, then you were like, aha!
But,
anyways.
But that's what I've been talking about the entire video. You chimed in later. But that's what I mean. Like, I'm not saying this is the most important part. I'm saying, like, as a final piece, not everything's about, like, your homeboy over here. You know what I mean? Like, there are other sort of reasons for, I think, why they established this scene. Because, like, think about it. Like, when have we ever kind of seen an ambush like that where random characters that we didn't even think about suddenly kind of, like, kick some ass? You know what I mean? And, like, threatened a main character like that. I don't think that we have. Right?
Yeah.
Because even when the White Fang operatives were, led outside of the ship, like, in, this game's a lost cause, outside of the ship, like, even during the Battle of Beacon, like, we didn't even see them do anything. Like, they just kind of, we saw what was going on in the airships to an extent, but they just kind of piled out of the ship, they went on school grounds, and then we never heard from them again. Like, that's kind of what happened with them, and so now it's kind of showing us, like, hey, like, these White Fang people, they're actually living, breathing people, and they're not just there for decoration, right? Because when you think of the Mistral background people that were 2D, like, they were definitely just made for a decorative piece in the background. You know what I mean? But these people are like, they're alive, Hunter. They have, like, souls. They have goals, man. They're fighting with Adam. That was just my point. That was all.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Does that work with you? Like, I don't
Sure.
understand why you're so confused about this.
I zoned out for half a second and then we were talking about background characters rambling, so.
I'm not saying that, like, this is the most, like, Hunter, like, this is the key piece. Like, no, I just wanted to say that, like, as an aside, and then you weren't listening, so don't worry about it. It's not that bad. Whatever, it's fine. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video, despite, like, Hunter, like, being confused through it, but he's sick, so, like, you know, cut him some slack. Pay him no mind. It's okay. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and basically, we will see you in the next one. Remember to become a patron on Patreon if you enjoy these, and to subscribe and join our Discord server. So we'll see you later. Bye, guys!